Alright, I'm going to be continuing on my series in Nietzsche's book, Thus Spoke Zarathustra. This is section 6 of part 1, and this is about the pale criminal, which, I was thinking about possibly not even doing this one because it's kind of abstract and kind of difficult to understand, but I figured, that would kind of be not, why leave this out? This is pretty interesting. So this whole story that goes on here is about this criminal who is presented first off as somebody who is a robber first and then a murderer. However, Zarathustra kind of thereafter portrays him as he sees fit as more of a murderer who happened to have robbed. You do not want to kill, O judges and sacrificers, until the animal has nodded. Behold, the pale criminal has nodded. Out of his eyes speaks the great contempt. My ego is something that shall be overcome. My ego is to me the greatest contempt of man. Your sentence shall be love of the overman. Thus you shall justify your living on. Those who become sick today are overcome by that evil which is evil today. They want to hurt with that which hurts them. So, this is, needless to say, not an easy kind of thing to figure out what entirely he's after, or what concept he wants to pin down, or what he wants to discuss here. So I guess one thing that I would say first off in reading this, that keep in mind what the overman is and he's kind of still trying to. He's just trying to say something about this pale criminal, and he's almost making a distinction about what this Übermensch or Overman is. So the whole thing, it's about justice versus self-governance. The pale criminal, he commits the robbery and he commits murder, but the question that he kind of goes between is which one is prior. Is he a robber who happened to have murdered, or is he a murderer who happened to have robbed? The judges see him as someone who is a robber who happened to have murdered, but Zarathustra sees him vice versa as a murderer who happened to have robbed. Now, why is he a pale criminal? Because he has guilt. He's pale due to his guilt and his misunderstandings of his own motive or of his behavior. He doesn't really understand himself as to why he did this, and he has guilt for it. That's why he's the pale criminal. So he calls the criminal a heap of diseases, which can be translated differently. Zarathustra, the whole point here is he's kind of trying to make a distinction about the overman. And in a way, I don't want to say that he's kind of making the criminal out to be somebody who has done good. But in a way, the pale criminal is better than someone who acquiesces. Someone who takes the path of least resistance, somebody who is man. So I guess that's not the best. It's not right here to say that Nietzsche via Zarathustra is saying that the criminal is a good person, a good thing to be a criminal, but it's saying that it's better to be like this because he separated himself from the traditional way, and he's separated himself from the rest of the world. He's not conforming, and that in a way is akin to the overman. So that's kind of a bit of what's going on here. And in a way, he was driven to be a criminal because of his own weakness. So that's kind of the whole thing here. The whole thing to kind of get that there's kind of two sides to this coin. To be a criminal and to do these things is morally wrong. Um, you know, and Nietzsche does kind of agree that to commit these things is not entirely a right thing to do. However, it is the case that the pale criminal is someone who was outside of the traditional norms, and that therefore he, in a way, is better than the one who acquiesces or takes the path of least resistance and is inured to everything else. So this is a very difficult passage. This is probably one of the more difficult ones to get through. Let's see. What is this? What is this man? A heap of diseases, which though his spirit reach out into the world, there they want to catch their prey. What is this? What is this man? A ball of wild snakes, which rarely enjoy rest from each other, so they go forth singly and seek prey in the world. Behold this poor body, what it suffered and coveted this poor soul interpreted for itself. It interpreted it as murderous lust and greed for the bliss of the knife. Let's see, anything else? Verily I wish their madness were called truth, or loyalty, or justice, but they have their virtue in order to live long and in wretched contentment. Wretched contentment. I am a railing by the torrent. Let those who can grasp me. Your crutch, however, I am not. Thus spoke Zarathustra. So if you think that I could have done this better, or if I could have explained something a little better, or if you have a question, or if you think I'm messing out, comment below, let me know. I'd love to discuss this crazy little passage with you. And I'll be continuing maybe today, maybe, I don't know. The next one is on reading and writing, so I'll figure out what I want to make of that here. And I've read all this before, but the question is how to deciding how to discuss it, I guess. So thank you.